Okay, on this lesson, we're going to talk about dynamic signs. We're going to talk about the stem placement on notes, and we're going to talk about the repeat sign. And again, this is just very basic stuff. This is like theory 101, theory level 1. This is very, very basic stuff. The only thing that I want to accomplish out of this video is if you ever happen to see a P, MP, MF, or an F written anywhere in here, you know what it means. If you download some sheet music from online and you see a P, MP, MF, or F written here, or anywhere here, wherever it may be, within that sheet music, then I want you to know what that means. Okay. Dynamic signs. What are dynamic signs? In relation to music, dynamics is nothing no more than the volume of a sound or note. Again, it's nothing no more than the volume of a sound or note. And basically it's how soft the note sounds or how loud it sounds. Basically that's what it is. And you look and you see, a lot of times you see written in here, you see a P. What does that stand for? That's P for piano, which equals soft. You might see an MF written in here. MF, what does MF stand for? Mezzo Forte, moderately loud. And you might see a MP written here. What does that mean? Mezzo Piano. That means moderately soft. Okay, you might see an F written in here. What does that stand for? That stands for forte, which basically means loud. Okay? And okay, if you happen to download a piece, a sheet music, and you see a P, how you gonna? Why my handwriting is terrible. How are you gonna play that piece? You're gonna play it what? Soft. Okay. And if you scratch this out, let's see if you see a piece written here that's MP. How are you going to play that part? How are you going to play it? You're going to play it, what, moderately soft. Scratch this out. If you see an MF, how are you going to play that piece? You're going to play it moderately loud. Scratch this out. If you see an F, how are you going to play that part? You're going to play it loud, okay? So what I want to do is just go through and just play these notes. I'm going to play it soft. I'm going to play it moderately soft. And then I'm going to play it moderately loud. And then I'm going to play it then I'm going to play it loud. So if you're playing this piece, and you see a P here, you're going to go soft. Okay? See an MP? What are you going to do? You're going to play it what? Moderately soft. So, okay, again, it's the volume of the sound. That moderately soft is a little louder than soft. Go and you have MF. Again, moderately loud. Okay. If you have an F, loud. Okay? So now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play it soft, I'm going to play it moderately soft, I'm going to play it moderately loud, and then I'm going to play it loud. Just those notes. Just, again, the intensity in which you hit the keys on the piano. And there you go. It's pretty simple. It's just the volume of the note. As I said, how loud is that note? How soft is that note? That's all it is. Okay, now when you come into the, you ever write in the music and you say, wow, well, which side of my should I put the stem on? And should the stem be pointed up? Or should the stem be pointed down? Should the stem be to the right? Should the stem be to the left of the note? Wow, what did I do? Well, here's the rule on stem placements on notes. They say, with the exception of a whole note. And you should know what a whole note is. If you don't know what a whole note is, go back and review some of my prior theory lessons, and I would have talked about whole notes within those lessons. So, with the exception of a whole note, all notes have stems. Okay, all notes except for a whole note have stems. Okay, notes on or above the middle line of the staff have down stems. Okay, here's the staff. Here's the staff right here. Okay, and what does it say? Okay, notes on or above the, notes on or above the middle line of the staff have down stems. These stems are on the left side of the notes. Okay, so now, where's the middle line at here? You have a total of how many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the middle line would be here, number 3. Okay, so if you have a note here on the B, or here on the C, or the D, or the E, and so forth, then the stem to that note would be to the left, and it would be down. Again, to the left of that note, down. To the left of that note, down. To the left of that note, down. Okay? Okay, now notes below the middle line have up stems. These stems are on the right side of the notes. Okay, again, this is the middle line. Middle line is line number 3. That's the middle line. So if you are below that, you have up stems, and the up stems are to the right. So here's your note, up stem to the right of that note. Here's your note, up stem to the right of that note, another note to the right, another note to the right. So if it's below the middle line, it's to the right of the note and up. If it's above the middle line, it is to the left of that note and down. And that's the rule of thumb on the stem placements of notes. And if you notice here, this is something we talked about. I just want to touch on this. We talked about this in the prior lesson, and this is basically, it's a whole rest. Basically meaning that there's no activity with the left hand as you play the notes here. That's just a little bonus there. Okay. And now you go over here. What is this? Normally when you end a piece, you just have a single line ending it. Just while you play a piece, and if you're not going to repeat it, you just have a single line that where this bold black line is at, you would just have a thin, just single line. And you play the piece and you end it. Well, when you're going to repeat, I didn't even put the definition here because it's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, you're going to go back to the beginning of the piece and you're going to repeat it. That's pretty self-explanatory. I didn't want to insult anybody's intelligence here, so that's why I just didn't put a definition in there. So, again, we're just keeping everything basic. Now, some things can become complicated when it comes to repeating, but for the sake of what I'm trying to teach you, basically at the level that you're at, if you're looking at this video, then you probably are like a piano, you like 101, you like level 1. I'm just trying to give you an introduction here. So again, the repeat is just, you're going to go back to the beginning of that piece, okay, and you're going to play it again. So when you see at the end, and sometimes, it can also be in the middle of a piece. This is a measure, this is 2 measures. You can have something that can have 8 measures to it. 1 measure, 2 measures, you can have 8 measures. Again, if you don't know what measures are, go back to a prior lesson and I would have explained measures to you. But you could have a piece that could have 8 measures to it, and you could have a repeat that could be at measure number 2 of the 8 notes. So you would go back to the beginning of that piece and you would just play it through. So if I had something Or maybe I'm kind of complicating things here. I don't need to talk about that. I'm about to get into something that you really don't need to know at this point. So let's just stick on a repeat from the standpoint when you see this at the end of the music of the piece that you're playing. Then what does that mean? That means that you play that piece over from the beginning. So again, what is this? This is a thick black line going down. Then you have a thinner black line coming down. And what do you have? You have a dot here and a dot here. This is the middle line. So you have a dot on the middle line on the here, and you have a dot on the middle line here. So that's it. I'm just trying to keep it pretty basic, because a lot of this stuff, when you get into dynamic signs and when you get into the repeats, repeats can be a lot of different places within a piece of music, just so that you know that. But I was about to get off into that, but for the level that you are at, if you're watching this, that's not necessary. So let me just play the repeat for you real quick. It's just simple. If you're playing a piece and you're playing that piece and you run across and you see this anywhere in that piece, then that means you just go back to the beginning and play it again. So I'm playing this. Then I'm going back now because it's telling me what? It's telling me to repeat. Okay, so C, D, E, F, B, C, D, E, repeat. C, D, E, F, B, C, D, E. That's it. Okay, well, I hope that something within this lesson has enlightened you. And until the next lesson, have yourself a blessed life. And just remember to keep it patient, to keep on practicing your lessons that I've taught you earlier. And just keep the passion. And until the next time, have a blessed life.